Mr. Chairman, honorable judges. The case I am about to present before you belongs more to the realm of medicine than to jurisprudence. It is, in truth, a pathological condition rather than a legal dispute. At first glance, the facts appear simple. A young man, immensely wealthy, with a noble and ardent soul and a generous heart, falls in love with a woman of extraordinary beauty, more than beautiful, truly enchanting. She is as graceful, charming, kind, and tender as she is lovely. He marries her. For a time, he behaves as the most attentive and affectionate of husbands. Then he begins to neglect her, treats her with coldness and cruelty, as though seized by an overwhelming repulsion, a visceral disgust. One day, he even strikes her without reason, without provocation. I shall not, gentlemen, unfold before you the full tableau of his strange and inexplicable behavior. I will not recount the horrors of their shared life, nor the suffering of this young woman. To convince you, it will suffice to read a few excerpts from the diary of this unfortunate man, this tragic madman. Yes, esteemed judges, we are dealing with madness. And the case is all the more curious, all the more compelling, because it bears striking resemblance to the mental disorder of a recently deceased, eccentric and ill-fated king who once ruled Bavaria in a purely Platonic fashion. I would call this condition a poetic mania. You surely recall the tales told of that sovereign. In the most picturesque corner of his kingdom, he built fantastical palaces. But the true beauty of nature did not satisfy him, and so, with theatrical artifice, he conjured artificial horizons, illusions, painted forests, and fairy-tale realms where jeweled leaves hung from trees. There were Alps with glacier, steppes, sun-scorched deserts. And at night, beneath the real moon, lakes were lit from below by magical electric light. Swans glided across the water, boats drifted silently, and the king's soul was intoxicated by an orchestra composed of the finest musicians in the world. He was pure. He was a virgin. He had never loved anyone except his dream, his divine dream. One evening, he invited a young singer of rare beauty to join him on a boat ride. He asked her to sing. She sang, intoxicated by the breathtaking scenery, the gentle warmth of the evening air, the fragrance of flowers, and the rapture of the youthful monarch. She sang as a woman sings when touched by love. Then, losing herself, trembling, she threw herself into his arms, seeking his lips. But he cast her into the lake, took up the oars, and rowed to shore, indifferent to whether she would be saved or not. Before us, honorable judges, lies a case of striking similarity. I shall now read excerpts from the diary found in the drawer of his writing desk. How dull and ugly everything is, how monotonous. How I long for a land more beautiful, more noble, more varied. What a pitiful imagination their God must possess if he exists at all, if he has not created something else, somewhere else. Forever the same forests, groves, rivers, each one like the next. And man, what a loathsome creature, cruel, selfish, repugnant. One must love madly, blindly, so as not to see whom one loves. For to see is to understand, and to understand is to despise. One must love and become drunk with love, as with wine, so that one no longer feels the act of drinking. And drink, drink, drink day and night, without pause. I believe I have found her. In her appearance there is something ideal, unearthly, something that gives wings to my dream. Ah, my dream, how it transforms people. She is a fair blonde, with a shade of hair beyond description. Her eyes are blue. Only blue eyes can captivate my soul. The entire woman, the woman who lives deep within my heart, I recognize by her eyes, and only by her eyes. Oh, the mystery! What a mystery the eye is! In it lies the whole universe, for it sees and reflects it. It embraces everything, objects and beings, forests and oceans, people and animals, sunsets, stars, works of art, everything, everything. It sees all, gathers all, steals all. And more than that, within it lives the soul of the person who thinks, laughs, loves, suffers. Oh, look into the blue eyes of a woman, those eyes, deep as the sea, changeable as the sky, tender as a breeze, as music, as a kiss, and so transparent that through them one sees the soul, the blue soul that gives them color, animates them, sanctifies them. Yes, the soul has the color of its gaze. Only a blue soul harbors dreams, it borrows its azure from the waves and the heavens. The eye. Just think. The eye. It absorbs visible life and nourishes thought. It swallows the entire world, colors, movements, books, paintings, all that is beautiful and all that is vile, and from all this, it creates thought. And when it turns toward us, it grants us a sense of otherworldly bliss. It allows us to glimpse what we shall never truly know. It makes us understand that the reality of our dreams is but contemptible filth. I love her even for the way she walks. A poet once said, in birds and in motion, one feels the presence of wings. When she walks, you sense that she is not of the same breed as other women, but of another, lighter, more winged, almost divine. Tomorrow I marry her. I'm afraid of many things. 2 beasts, 2 dogs, 2 wolves, 2 foxes wander through the forest and meet. One is male, the other female. They mate. They mate by the instinct that compels them to continue their kind, the kind from which they inherited the shape of their bodies, their fur, their size, their movements and habits. All animals do this, without knowing why. And so do we. I did the same when I married her. I surrendered to that absurd impulse that throws us toward the female. She is my wife. While I desired her as an ideal, she was a dream unattainable, yet poised to become real. From the moment I embraced her, she became merely a creature through which nature deceived all my hopes. Did she betray them? No. And yet I grew weary of her, so weary that I cannot touch her, cannot lay a hand or lips upon her without my heart recoiling in unspeakable disgust. Perhaps not disgust toward her, but toward something loftier, more solemn, more contemptuous, the act of love itself, so vile that for refined souls it has become a shameful ritual, one that must be hidden, spoken of only in whispers, with blushing cheeks. I cannot bear to see my wife approach me, to call me with a smile, a glance, a gesture. I cannot. Once, I believed her kiss would carry me to the heavens. One day she fell ill, a mild cold, and in her breath I caught a faint, almost imperceptible scent of decay. I was shaken. Oh, flesh, living and seductive rot, walking carrion that thinks, speaks, looks, and laughs. It digests food, and this pink flesh is beautiful, alluring, and deceptive like the soul. Why is it only flowers that smell so divine? Great blossoms, vivid or pale, their tones and shades stir my heart, enchant my gaze. They are so exquisite, their structure so delicate, so varied, so sensual. They open like strange organs, more seductive than lips, hollow, with curled edges, toothed, fleshy, dusted with living pollen that gives each flower its unique fragrance. Only they alone in this world, when fertilized, do not defile their pure lineage, but instead release the divine perfume of love, the fragrant sweat of caresses, the emanation of incomparable bodies adorned with every grace, every elegance of form, drawing us in with every hue, seducing us with every scent. From the journal, written 6 months later. I do not love flowers as plants, but as enchanting corporeal beings. I spend all my days and nights in the greenhouses, where the flowers are hidden from the world like wives in a harem. Who but I knows the sweetness, the madness, the trembling, carnal, ideal, superhuman ecstasy of such tenderness? These kisses upon pink flesh, upon red, upon white, upon the wondrously varied, fragile, rare, delicate, tender bodies of exquisite flower. I have greenhouses where no one enters but myself and the gardener. I slip inside as if entering a chamber of secret pleasures. First, I walk through a tall glass gallery, flanked by 2 rows of closed, half-open, or fully blooming corollas, cascading like drapery from ceiling to floor. They send me their first kiss. But these flowers, adorning the threshold of my hidden passions, are not my favorites, they are handmaidens. They greet me as I pass, with their shifting colors, their fresh breath. They are graceful, coquettish, rising in 8 tiers to the right and 8 to the left, growing so densely it seems as though 2 gardens descend to my feet. At their sight, my heart races, my eyes ignite, my blood boils, my soul grows drunk, and my hands tremble with longing to touch. I walk on. At the end of the gallery, 3 locked doors. I may choose. I have 3 harems. Most often, I enter the chamber of orchids, my beloved seductresses. Their room is low and humid. The hot, damp air makes the body slick, the breath uneven, the fingers tremble. These mysterious maidens hail from swampy, torrid, and unhealthy lands. They are like sirens, deadly as poison, fantastically strange, both thrilling and terrifying. There they are, butterfly-like, with enormous wings, slender limbs, and eyes. Yes, they have eyes. They gaze at me, they see me, these marvelous, implausible beings, fairies, daughters of sacred lands, of intangible air and scorching light, the father of the world. Yes, they have wings, they have eyes, they possess hues no artist could reproduce. They are endowed with all beauty, all forms imaginable. Their loins, fragrant, translucent, open to love, are more seductive than any woman's body. The unimaginable contours of their tiny forms hurl my intoxicated soul into a paradise of ideal visions, of ideal sensuality. They tremble on their stems, as if preparing to take flight. Do they wish to fly to me? No, it is my heart that soars above them, like a mystical husband, tormented by love. No wing shall ever touch them. They are mine alone, in the luminous prison I built for them. I gaze upon them, contemplate them, adore them one by one. How luscious they are, how deep, how pink, that shade of pink that moistens lips with desire. How I love them. Their chalice curls at the edges, paler than the neck, and within it hides the corolla, a mysterious, tempting mouth, sweet to the taste, revealing and concealing the tender, alluring, sacred organs of these divine little beings, who exude fragrance and remain silent. Sometimes I am seized by passion for one of them, and that passion lasts only as long as its object lives, a few days, a few evenings. Then she is taken from the common greenhouse and placed in a tiny glass chamber, where a stream murmurs over a bed of tropical grass brought from the Pacific Islands. And I remain with her ardent, trembling, tormented, knowing how near her death is, watching her wither as I possess her, as in unspeakable tenderness I inhale, absorb, and pluck her fleeting life. Having finished reading, the lawyer continued. Decency, honorable judges, forbids me from revealing further confessions of this deranged dreamer and madman. I believe the excerpts I have presented suffice to grasp the depth of his mental illness, a sickness which, in our age of hysterical disorders, degeneration, and moral decay, is far less rare than it may seem. Therefore, I am convinced that in the exceptional circumstances brought upon my client by her husband's strange affliction, she has more right to divorce than any other woman.